Hello, Memorial basketball fans. I'm Charles Strayer.
And I'm Teddy Harless.
And welcome to week 4 of our series covering MHS basketball. The boys are coming off of another big home win, and they've got 2 tough games here at the Eagles' Nest coming up this week. So let's get started with recapping that New Richmond game.
Yeah, what really was one of the things that stood out to me was the fluid ball movement. And the fluid ball movement, not only in that New Richmond game, but it's been something we've been seeing all season. And another thing that we have been seeing all season along with that is even though we're moving the ball a lot, we're still able to win the turnover battle because we're making safe, smart passes, and we're able to win the turnover. We were able to win the turnover battle against New Richmond 10-15, which goes along with a trend that we've been seeing this season of 14 to 22.3 on the season.
Yeah, and that average, I think that really just speaks to, like you said, we can have that speed on offense, but we're tempering it with some smart ball movement. And it's really what you want to see in the best of the teams here. If we're going to contend with, Stevens Point and River Falls later this week, we're going to have to keep a handle on that, keep turnovers to a minimum. And for the most part, we're doing an excellent job with that. We're keeping the ball in our hands and, making smart decisions once we're on offense. And I think additionally, extending those possessions has been going really well for us. With rebounds, we've been very good as well.
Yeah, and with taking away possessions from the other team, too. On the game, we were total for rebounding of 39-24, and on offense, it was 11-3. So both those categories doing really well, ending their possessions and sustaining ours.
Yeah, and you want to talk about like an individual that's been doing well with that. Last game, Ben Fesenmeyer continuing to be a very good piece of the puzzle there, very effective in his role, snatching up 7 rebounds against New Richmond.
Yeah, he's really good at using his height and getting up there, getting those boards, taking advantage of some people who might end up being a little smaller than him guarding him.
Precisely, looking to be in the right place at the right time. And we saw a bit of a size disadvantage because, of course, Charbonneau was not active against New Richmond, so we were able to adjust and take advantage of that. Fesenmeyer, the big man on the court for the majority of the contest, and that really helped our way. However, Fesenmeyer was not the star of the show. That is going to go to, likely by unanimous decision, Cooper Jesperson.
Yeah, if there's one thing I would say about this game, it's that our star players really shined in it.
Oh, yeah.
Like Cooper, he's been a star on this team for a while now, and he had a career high 35 points against New Richmond. And not only points, he also got 5 assists and was 6 for 15 from the three-point line.
Yeah, Jesperson was just electric, and he was drawing off the defense, allowing other guys to be able to take shots. And like I said, those offensive rebounds, they're coming back in spades to help out Jesperson when he's having a game like that. Because, we saw it a lot where they'd be missing like their first shot, even maybe second shot. But those rebounds that we were able to get in the paint, able to kick it back out to the perimeter and kind of reset things, it really worked out well and assisted him in having such a proficient game. But he was just playing lights out. He really stifled New Richmond's defensive attempts and really, when we were trying to pull away in the second half, really helped solidify that. Also having an excellent game was Abes Boys. He had 9 rebounds and 20 points of his own. And what I like to see with him is he's got a little bit of chemistry going along with Julius Clark. Now, all of these players have a pretty good rapport, I'd say, but those two have been looking very good. Some of the best plays in that game and against Chippewa Falls and Burnsville as well. I've been seeing Clark making some of those fast breaks to the paint, able to dish it out to Mboga at the last second. He's got to finish over the top of the defense. That's a trend I really would like to see continued, particularly against Stevens Point.
Yeah, and Abes Boys doing good goes along with that trend that I really saw of just the stars shining in that game we had against New Richmond. Because while Cooper has been the main guy for a while now, Wes has sort of been that second guy. He's been that second option we've had who's been really good at getting a lot of points and really operating within the paint, getting points, rebounds, just really being a big man down low in the paint.
Yeah, a lot of versatility there, and you saw that especially when Jesperson was injured. the season and the conference championship itself, like it seemed to be kind of in jeopardy there, but we were able to secure that number 1 spot largely by virtue of Mboga stepping up into that leadership role.
And Mboga's connection with Julius Clark that they built over that last season.
Additionally, and like I was going on about, it definitely seems like that's something that's only going to get better here down the stretch. And now after our opening into conference play, we're currently tied for first by merit of our victories over the Tigers and the Cardinals. Now we've got a challenge in a non-conference opponent. Stevens Point will be on Tuesday. And, of course, on Friday, we're taking it to River Falls. We'll actually be here at the Eagles Nest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that game against SPASH should be really exciting. It was a close battle we had last year. But we unfortunately lost against SPASH. And then River Falls is another rivalry game that we had a lot of games against them a lot of close games against them last year. We had the win in overtime to remain undefeated against River Falls.
Yeah, a lot of history between these two teams, and especially where Stevens Point is concerned, they're sitting at 3-2 right now, but that's against some pretty tough opponents. Wausau East and Bayport being their 2 losses. Those are no slouches. You go more east side of the state. Definitely some tough opponents that they lost to. But we're seeing a very similar squad personnel-wise. The seniors that graduated out weren't necessarily the stars of that show. Stevens Point will be bringing a lot of similar guys, and we see that with our own team too. So it might be as close to a pure rematch as you can get.
Yeah, it should be really exciting to see these two teams that haven't really changed a lot since last year get another chance to duel it out. It was really exciting last time, and I expect it to be no less exciting this time.
Yeah, especially when you've got a guy like Grant Chandana, out there on the starting roster. 20.5 points per game so far this season, and 6'5". He will be kind of like what we were missing out of, that big guy from New Richmond. Unfortunately, we did not get to see him in action, but we will have a big guy to contend with and very prolific when it comes to shooting.
Yeah, and he's not the only guy they've got on that team.
Yeah,
Baraka Makalin has been very good as well with 11.2 points per game on the season.
Yeah, we're seeing a very well-rounded Stevens Point squad. And again, that record is very deceiving. They've played some tough opponents, and they will be looking to continue, their winning streak against Memorial at the Eagles Nest. I think it's going to be an excellent showdown here.
Yeah, it certainly should be.
And after our matchup with Stevens Point, the fun just keeps on going because we've got a conference heavyweight after that. On Friday, we're taking on the River Falls Wildcats.
Yeah, it should be an exciting game with some of the best teams we have in this conference. Like we said earlier, we have a history with River Falls. Last year going 1-1, including a win in overtime to remain undefeated.
Yeah, a lot of contentious history between these two conference opponents. And kind of like what we saw with Stevens Point, we're going to be seeing a lot of returning characters. Eli and Preston Johnson in particular. Preston Johnson has 14 points per game on the season, and Eli Johnson at 6'7" has been and will continue to be a big threat as the big guy on the court.
Yeah, those should be some exciting players to see, along with Brody Great, who leads the team with 20.7 points per game and 3 steals.
Yeah, so he is going to be likely our Jesperson equivalent, if you will. And that's what we liked to see out of last year. Obviously, don't have to contend with the likes of Joey Butts any longer. He was most certainly a threat, especially at the three-point line, But even without that, we are still going to be seeing a rather polished team. And, a lot of these guys with a lot of experience with one another as well. I think the key to this game is just kind of continuing to do what we're doing where turnovers are concerned. We need to make sure that we don't give them any opportunities to go down the court and put us on the back foot, maybe with a numerical disadvantage. We need to make sure that, we're putting them where we want to on defense.
Yeah, and overall, it should just be a really exciting week of games we have here. Starting off with SPASH and then going on to River Falls. the boys will be going through the gauntlet this week, and we'll see if they can come out unscathed.
Yeah, it should be a great time here at the Eagles Nest. A great opportunity to kind of show our stuff. We've had, a good start here, but these are some very tough opponents, among the toughest that we've played, so far, and maybe even will play in this regular season. So with players like Jesperson and Mboga hitting their stride and everybody else doing great to support them, we should be at the height of our strength thus far to face these opponents. So come down to the Eagles Nest to watch those. We'll be live streaming it on Old Abes TV. And as always, go Abes!
Hi everybody, I'm Aiden Rickert, Eagle Eye's other guy. If you're interested in more MHS sports content, be sure to check out our TikTok, Instagram, and check out some of the other videos on our YouTube channel. And while you're at it, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more. Go Abes!